Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to revise elementary classroom from stanza 2 onwards. Okay, so let's revise it. See here, stanza 2 is a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Okay, so please try to understand here. The poet is speaking metaphorically in these two lines. Okay, he says that even the sky of the place where they live appears to be uh, like a dull sky. Lead is a symbol for something which is dull, blunt. Okay, so the place, the slum area where they live, the sky of that area, even the sky of that area appears to be a dull sky, a lead sky, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Dear students, here the poet has brought about imagery of nature in these two words, rivers and caves. So, why has the poet brought about the imagery of nature? This is something you've got to understand. The poet has brought about the imagery of rivers and caves in order to indicate that nature and natural setting is very, very important for the proper growth of a child. Okay, the growth of a child depends on where he or she lives. If he or she lives in a place which is away from natural setting, away from nature, in that case he will have distorted kind of personality. Okay, he will not grow up healthy. This is what the poet has to say. And stars of words, they are not having rivers nearby, they are not having mountains or landscapes nearby, they are not having stars of words. Stars of words here refers to the people, you can say, who are um, educated. Okay, so they were away from not only nature but also from people who are enlightened. Okay, so this is what he has to say. You've got to learn by heart the meaning of lead sky, caves, and stars of words. Stars of words is very important. The acquisition of radiant light of knowledge is like stars in the sky, which slum children cannot touch. Okay, because the infrastructure is not of the school is not good, because the teaching staff is not good. It seems that, or there are no teachers, it seems, or if there are any, they may not be of that quality, of that standard. So the children, the slum children, are deprived from the natural setting of rivers, caves, as well as from those people who are sort of educated, who are knowledgeable. That is why it is difficult for them, not only for their emotional growth, but also for their intellectual growth. The place where they are living is not at all, what is that called? At all worth living. Okay, for the healthy growth of a child. Okay, nature is very important. Like you might have seen, the plants require sunlight, they require water for the proper growth. Likewise, for a child, it's not only the place where they live, but also the place, also the people, uh, the guidance of the intellectual people or the knowledgeable people or educated people is equally important. So the slum children neither have any kind of natural setting or landscape near where they are living in slum areas, nor are they having the company of any educated person. Therefore, it is difficult for them to grow up holistically. Okay, their future is, let's go about with the paraphrase now. Their future is sealed with a dark and dull sky. The poet again says that their world is far away from the actual world of rivers and capes. Stars of words here refers to the acquisition of radiant light of knowledge, which is like stars in the sky. Okay, so this is metaphorically used, stars of the words. Okay, like the stars in the sky, likewise stars of words means those educated people, intellectual people. Okay, without their company, it is difficult for the intellectual growth of the children. Impossible for slum children to reach out because they do not have any privilege to go outside and study. These children are far away from the bright light of knowledge and education. Okay, in short, stars of words refer to the bright light of knowledge and education. So you've got to write from here till here, okay, for a 1 mark question. So let's now move on to the next part. Okay, next part. Um, Surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes from fog to endless night. Surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example. William Shakespeare appears to be irrelevant. Shakespeare is wicked means what? It means the bust of William Shakespeare, which is hanging in the classroom, is something which is irrelevant to the need of the slum children. That is why Shakespeare is wicked. Shakespeare is wicked means picture of Shakespeare is irrelevant or useless, as slum children cannot read his books. Slum children cannot read his books because in order to read the books of Shakespeare, you need to develop or have some kind of intellectual maturity, which the slum children are not having because they are not being given the concept, they are not being made educated, enlightened from their childhood onwards. Okay, that is why Shakespeare is something which will be beyond their comprehension, beyond their understanding. The books of Shakespeare will be beyond their understanding. That is why Shakespeare has been referred to as wicked. Next, the map, a bad example. The world map, which is also hanging in the classroom as a teaching aid, this world map itself is also a bad example. Okay, is a bad example. Why? Because the countries and the location which are listed in the on the map, world map, this is also irrelevant to the needs of the children, because children cannot come out of their slum, cannot come out of the place where they are living, that is a slum. That is why even the world map is irrelevant for them. Okay, and teaching learning should be based on the real life experience. Okay, it should not be based on something which is alien to us. Okay, therefore the map is also a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Shakespeare's books describe lot of gives lot of description about the ships and sun and its love. Okay, which will tempt them to steal, because if they go on to read Shakespeare, number one, is beyond their comprehension. Number two, even if they are taught, and the kinds of reference in the books of Shakespeare are like sheeps, sun, and the instances of love stories. All these things will make them go mad, because they will not be able to have access to such things. Therefore, they will try to steal. Okay, they, because they have no means to buy or go to the place which is mentioned in the book. Therefore, they will resort to stealing. okay, in order to fulfill some of their needs. That is why the poet says that Shakespeare is irrelevant, as well as the world map is also irrelevant. And this line is said in reference to the contents in Shakespeare's book, okay, contents, the subject matter in the books of Shakespeare. Then, for lives that slyly turn their cramped holes from fog to endless night. For lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes, means their lives are being restricted, confined into a cramped place like the slum. The slum is very cramped and not having any space. Okay, therefore, slum, the very congested place of the slum has been compared to cramped holes from fog to endless night. Okay, from fog, because their future has been compared to fog, as the fog is very hazy, indistinct, unclear. Likewise, their future is also unclear. And from fog to endless night, okay, their life has been compared not only to the future, has been compared not only to the fog, but also to endless night. Understood? Therefore, there is, at till this point, there is no possibility, or there is no hope shown by the poet for the future of the slum children. Okay, so let's go through the vocabulary quickly. Shakespeare is idiot means picture of or bust of Shakespeare is useless, as slum children cannot read his books. Next, the map, a bad example, means the map is also useless, as slum children cannot dream of visiting given places given in maps. Then, slyly turned means their existence in their congested houses will bring eternal fog and miseries in their lives. That is important, okay? For lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes from fog to endless night. The lifestyle that they are living now in their cramped house in the slum, this particular thing will make their future, okay, worse. Why worse? Because this cramped place is not congenial to the proper growth of the child. This cramped house is not very suitable for the proper growth of a child. Okay, therefore, the way they are living their lifestyle inside their cramped houses, uh, this will be responsible for leading a very uncertain future. Okay, so that is why their existence in their congested houses will bring eternal fog and miseries in their lives. Now let's go for the paraphrase. The poet says that picture of Shakespeare on the classroom wall is irrelevant or meaningless, as slum children will have no opportunity to read books of William Shakespeare. Okay, that is why the picture or the bust of Shakespeare on the classroom is very irrelevant. Okay, next, similarly, map is also a bad example, as these poor children, slum children, can never visit such places as mentioned in the map of the classroom wall. Next, the beautiful world depicted, presented in the classroom wall, like the sun, ships, love and care, and will only tempt them to steal, because they cannot have access to this material world. Okay, so it is given here. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Okay, so dear students, actually, the thing is that instead of you can make reference of both the things, like the books in the Shakespeare, as well as the like the donation in the classroom in the form of teaching aids, okay, that portrayed a colorful picture, images of civilized dome and all that we got, no? So you write this answer mentioning the books of Shakespeare also, and books and the teaching aids or the donations which are scattered on the wall of the classroom. So you make reference of both the things from the books of Shakespeare also and from the classroom donations also, and then you write your answer. Okay, instead of simply writing this one, only the classroom, you also write the books of Shakespeare. Okay, so you join here. They live in cramped houses and there is no end to their misery. Their continued existence in such cramped place will result in eternal fog and uncertain future in their lives. Okay, next you see, on their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with manded glass like bottle beads on stones. On their slag heap means their heap has become very very, like they are the victims of malnutrition. As you know, they are the victims of malnutrition. As a result, their heap, their, any muscular area, sorry, in any fleshy area, has become very much thin. Okay, why? Because they are not properly grown children. Okay, that is why. So on their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones. Okay, they are so lanky, so thin that if you touch them, only you can feel the bones or the things. What is that called? They are very very thin. That is why you can only feel the bones in their body, not the flesh or the uh, flesh part. Only the bone part you will be able to fill, because they are very very thin and they have no proper growth. That is why they do not have any proper growth. That is why they appear to be very very thin and bone, having bones, okay, in their body all throughout, because you can feel the bones only because they are the victims of malnutrition. Okay, so they are very thin and their bones are visible through the thin layer of their skin. And then with mended glass, they wear mended glass. Okay, if the glass is broken, they will mend it, repair it, and wear like bottle beads on stones. Okay, like bottle beads on stones. Okay, their glasses become broken like the bottle beads on stones, and those broken glasses they mend, repair. All of their time and space are foggy slum. Okay, here the consequences in future is given here. All their time and space are foggy slum, so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Okay, the poet has also become very very negative here in these lines. The poet sees no ray of hope for the slum children. That is why he has become frustrated, and this can be evident from his writing. He's saying that all of their time and space are foggy slum, so blot their maps. Okay, you replace their maps with slums because they have no familiarity with the outside world. So what is the use of the map in the classroom? There is no use of the map in the classroom because they are familiar only with their slum. Okay, therefore blot their maps, replace it, remove it with slum as big as doom. As big as doom means their future is their future is very dark. That is why as big as doom, their future is very dark and their future is cursed. Okay, that is why their time and space are fog Islam. So let's read here. With the mended glass like bottle beads and stones means the state of poverty is intensified by the fact that the glasses which these children wear are cracked and look like broken pieces of a bottle on stones. Okay, like the broken pieces of bottle look on a stone. Likewise, their glasses are also broken badly, but somehow they manage to mend the glasses, the broken glasses. Okay, and wear. Okay, but so many pieces of broken stuff. Okay, that it appears to be like bottle beads on stones. Understood? So now let's go on to the paraphrase part. These kids are so thin that one can easily see their bones through the thin layer of skin. The perpetual or eternal state of poverty is highlighted when the poet says that the glasses which these children wear are cracked and look like broken pieces of a bottle on a stone. The perpetual or eternal state of poverty is highlighted when the poet says that the glasses which these children wear are cracked and look like broken pieces of bottle on a stone. Okay, so that also that like they were the broken pieces of glasses. So these broken pieces of glasses are metaphors for their internal eternal state of poverty as well. Okay, you can say the fact that they were the broken pieces of glass, goes on to indicate that they are going through the eternal state of poverty. Eternal means it has no end. The poverty will go on and on and on and on because they have no, their financial condition is very poor. That is why they live in eternal state of poverty all throughout. Next, the future of the slum children is uncertain. Why do you think is the future of the slum children uncertain? Because they have no proper education, they have no proper living space, they have no proper food. They do not have proper food to eat. That is why their future is uncertain. Therefore, the map on the classroom actually here represents the pathetic slums for the children. Pathetic slums for the children as they have no access to the world depicted in the map. Their map is their congested, cramped, and foggy slums only. Okay, so replace the map because their map is not the world map. Their map is their own congested, cramped, and foggy slums. Because they are familiar only with this particular place, not any other place. Therefore, a world map is very irrelevant here. That is why the poet suggests all of us that you remove their map, replace the map with their congested, cramped slums as big as doom. Why? Because this particular congested and cramped and foggy slums are likely to remain eternally dark. That is why they said as big as he says as big as doom. Okay, so Pratik, Sanubar, Kanchan, Aman Arti, and Vanshita, Rudrask, and Nabia. Do you have any particular question till this stage before I proceed further? If you have any particular question, you can ask me. I'm waiting for your response. So, dear students, this poem is a bit difficult because of this imagery and metaphors that the poet has used. Okay, in most of the lines. That is why. Okay, the structure of the poem is the language of the poem is a bit difficult. So that is why it requires careful reading, very careful and focused reading. And I hope with my notes on vocabulary and additional help in the form of paraphrase you shall be able to understand what these lines are all about. Okay, so now let's move on to the last stanza. Let us move on to the last stanza. Okay, Rudra and Nabya, thank you so much. Let us go ahead with our explanation. Okay, see here. Unless now in the last stanza 3 part 2, in the last part of this poem, the poet ends his poem with a little ray of hope. Even though all throughout the poem the poet is very much pessimist, the poet has no iota of hope for the betterment of the slum children, But towards the end of the poem, he has shown little bit of optimism. He has shown little bit of ray of hope for the slum children. In what way can the slum children be uplifted from their perpetual state of poverty? They can be uplifted only through one means, which is let us find out. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Okay, now the poet means to say that unless governor, unless inspector, or unless visitor, any kind visitor comes to their slum and they voluntarily do something to improve the infrastructure of the school, to improve the infrastructure of the slum areas, okay, unless the government authorities being represented by governor, inspector, okay, and visitor refers to here any kind of private individual, okay, who visits the slum area and does something, okay, unless this thing happens, this map this map becomes their window, okay. The only map that they are familiar with till now is the world outside the window here refers to the world outside the window, because this is their only map, the world outside the window, because the world outside the window is the cramped slum area, na? That is why until any government officials come, until any private visitor come and help the slum children, help improve the infrastructure of the school, help improve the status, living status of the slum children, then this map, what is their map? Till that time, the map is the world outside their window, that is the slum. And these windows are like catacombs. These windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Okay, catacombs you must be knowing, like it's given in the book also. Catacombs means cemetery tombs that shard the dead bodies. They are called catacombs. Okay, the cemetery or tombs that shard the dead bodies. Okay. Likewise, their slum is like catacombs. Why there are the slums compared to catacombs here? Because the presence of slums outside their windows also restrict their movement and holistic growth. Okay, so here windows here refer to the world outside the window. The world outside the window means here the slum area, right? So the writer says that these windows through which the children can see the slum area, so these windows, that is the slum area here, world outside the window, is called these windows, the slum which they can see through the window. That is what is the meaning of windows here, the slum which the children can see through the window. Okay, so as the slums are restricting the children and not allowing them to go outside, okay, like so it appears that the slums are their catacombs, okay, like the cemetery, or the tombs shard the dead bodies, okay, confine the dead bodies, bury the dead bodies. Likewise, the slums have also buried the or confined the children. They cannot come out of the slum areas. They remain restricted to the slum areas only. So slum is like a catacomb for the slum children. Okay, like the catacombs restrict or shut the dead bodies, likewise the slum also uh, shut the or restrict the movement and holistic growth of the slum children. Okay, so that is the analogy or the comparison here. So it is a figure of speech or the literary device called simile. Then the writer says, break, oh break, open till they break the town. Okay, now the poet says that break, oh, break open. Okay, until and unless something is done to raise the economic status of the slum children, they might break, they might become restless, and they might bring about revolution when their frustration reaches to the riches at the top. When they become more and more frustrated, then they might indulge in some kind of violence or the other in order to get their demands fulfilled. Understood? So break, oh, break open till they break the town. Okay, and he says that till the slum children or slum people become reactive, they become revolutionary, the government inspector or the visitor has to do something, okay, to improve the economic status of the children, to uplift the slum children or the some slum people from their perpetual state of poverty. So that's all about this poem. Let's go through the paraphrase here. The poet means to say that government authorities like the governor and inspector visit the school and provide the infrastructure and educational resources to the slum children. Their situation will not improve. Unless they come, their situation will not improve. Unless they come and provide the infrastructure and educational resources, their condition will not improve. If they are not given basic education, their map in the classroom will be just cramped slum outside the classroom window. Okay, because they they are not familiar with the maps, the places and locations mentioned in the map. So what is their only map? Their only map is the place outside the window, that is their slum. Like the tomb or cemetery confines the dead body under the soil, likewise, the slum that exists outside the classroom window will also restrict the growth and development of the child. Okay, that is why the slum has been compared to catacombs here. Like the tomb or cemetery, catacomb means tomb or cemetery, like the way tomb or cemetery confines the dead body under it, under the soil. Likewise, the slum that exists outside the classroom also restrict the growth and development of the child. The poet requests the authorities to voluntarily take initiative to facilitate basic education. Otherwise, these children will grow up to become violent and indulge in destructive activities. Okay, so the poet appeals towards the end. The poet appeals to the government authorities like governor, inspector, or the private individuals like NGOs, or you can say private individuals, to sort of come to the slum areas and do something for the improvement of the children. Okay, do something so that the children can have access to education. Only then their condition will improve. Otherwise, whenever these children will grow up, they will become violent and indulge in destructive activities. Okay, so dear students, that's all about the explanation of this poem. Hope you've understood, and these are also the answer solution. You can questions, as you can see here, extra question also I have written here. Okay, and MCQ worksheet of this lesson is also there. You can also attempt this. Okay, so in case of any doubt, you let me know. Otherwise, I shall wind up my lesson now. Okay, dear students. Uh, okay, so I shall explain you another poem in my next class. So please be there on Monday sharp at 11 o'clock. Okay, I shall send you the intimation notification on WhatsApp at 11 o'clock. So please do come, because next day hopefully I am going to revise the lesson keeping quiet. Okay, and dear students, please visit my this page also, like writing page also. Okay, see here, you'll go to this my website. See, you'll go to more, and then you will click on the writing section. See more and then writing. Okay, you can, from any page you can go to, because this is the header, it is available in all the pages. So in the mobile, it is available in Okay, so dear students, as you can see here, you'll go to more and then you'll go to writing section. Writing here, as you can see, writing here. You'll click on the writing section and then you shall get several topics being listed here. Okay, like how to write letters to editor. You see, you will write here letters to editor. Okay, then this is some English writing worksheet is given here, then article writing, then figures of speech, and then another one is there is, I'll list it here. You can also search, like you go to search and search invitation. Okay, invitation. So how to write formal and informal invitation. Okay, it will be given here, formal and informal invitation. You please revise this part. Okay, you revise this part. uh, Formal, how to write formal invitation. I've given you the like this also, or is that called, samples also. So how to write formal invitation, how to write informal invitation, and all this. Okay, so whatever is there in your syllabus, I have uploaded almost everything in the writing section. So go to the writing section and please refer to all this. Okay, in case anything is not there, let me know so that I can update. But I have uploaded, like invitation is not coming in this page. That I'll see how to include here in this page. Otherwise invitation is also available if you search it. Okay, if you search here, invitation will be there. Okay, so dear students, before we end up, can you please text me your presence? Can you please text me your presence? Just write yes so that I understand. Yes, Rudraksh, Nabya, thank you so much. What about uh, Pratik Chaudhary, Sanuvar, Kanchan, Aman, very good. Thank you so much. What about Pratik, Sanuvar, and Kanchan? Aditi, Arti, thank you so much, Arti. Okay, today Pratik is there. Okay. Pratik, I've been coming online for many days now and you are not present. And whenever I do not take classes for 2 3 days, you remind me, sir, you are not taking class. Okay, but I have been taking for the last many days, and this is for the first day. I can see you after many days. Okay, so you have to think twice before texting me. Okay, because it is you who is negligent, not me. Okay, so all of you be there on a regular basis whenever I text you the message. Okay, because revision is important. Exam has been deferred to March. If you are not at least in touch with English language, computers, and physical education, your performance in these three subjects will drastically go down. That is why you be in touch. Okay, be in touch. Whenever I teach you something or the other, come online so that you can revise with me. Because you can read, you can study from online from my website, but whenever I'll explain you and you also listen to that along with reading the text, in that case your understanding will be better. Okay, Pratik, you can come live and watch. Okay, live and watch instead of watching later. It's better, because there is no other class at this time, na? So why to waste time? When your teacher is teaching you live, you please come online. Okay, and let me know if you require any more topic, any more chapter lesson that you want me to explain. But my plan of explain taking keeping quiet to, in the next class. Okay, we'll go as per the schedule. On Monday I'll take keeping quiet, I'll explain it keeping quiet. In one day I shall explain keeping quiet. So please be present on my next class. Okay, that is on Monday. Bye bye, take care. Thank you so much, dear students. Aman, Arti, Pratik, then Nabya, Rudrashk, thank you so much. Sanugar is not there, it seems. Sanugar has left. So anyway, bye bye, take care, and have a nice day.